Thank you. A very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much to Aditya, Anil, Ravi, and Aman, the founders and the co-founders of FMAE. I think these guys deserve a big round of applause for the way they've been going about doing this for the last 10 years. Thank you for your hospitality to the President of Kumaraguru Institutions, Sri Shankar Vanavaraya. Thank you, Shankar. You've been really a gracious host. Thank you very much. Thank you for the company. Thank you for the hospitality. Dr. Raghupati, thank you, sir. And to the students and the motorsports enthusiasts that are gathered here from about 13 different states across our great country, I welcome you all to this beautiful state of Tamil Nadu and to this beautiful city, Coimbatore. Thank you for your gracious hospitality as well. Since you're all motorsports enthusiasts, since you're all fans of racing, I just wanted to start off by talking about a champion. A motor sports enthusiast will certainly know him. Ayrton Senna, the Formula One champion from Brazil. As he had said, on a given day, a given circumstance, you think you have a limit. And you then go for this limit, and then you touch this limit. Something happens to you, and then you suddenly realize you can go a bit further. These words are from Ayrton Senna, who is a champion, like I said, of Formula One racing from Brazil. They capture not just the spirit of motorsport, but also the concept, the idea of human ambition, the spirit of human ambition. Motorsports is not merely about bikes, cars, tracks. It is about testing limits. It is about discovering new frontiers and proving to yourself that with focus and courage, you can always go further than you think possible in life also. Today, standing here amidst all of you young people really gives me a lot of hope, a lot of confidence, a lot of enthusiastic fervor within me as well. This is certainly an extraordinary gathering. As Shankar pointed out, this is the 10th edition, where more than in the last 10 years, more than 10 to 12,000 of you have congregated. And I feel a very vibrant and restless energy, because most of you are not used to sitting and listening to lectures. So therefore, the energy that Ayrton Senna spoke of, the passion to push boundaries, I see it in you, the students, the innovators, the engineers and dreamers, all of you are alike. For you, speed is not merely about moving fast. It is about moving forward. It is about transforming motion into progress. During my time as a minister for about 10 years in Telangana, I represented multiple departments including technology and industries, commerce, urban development, etc. One of the proudest achievements during my term as a minister in Telangana was creation of these innovation ecosystems and letting them work in synergy with each other. T-Hub, which is the world's largest technology incubator, nurtures startups and ideas. And T-Works, which is India's largest prototyping facility, allows engineers, allows hobbyists, allows enthusiasts like you to transform these ideas into tangible prototypes. T-Works and T-Hub stand shoulder to shoulder because vision demands that incubation and prototyping be just a heartbeat apart. Let me also share with you that we have the world's largest innovation campus in Hyderabad, Telangana. It just takes you enough and the same amount of time to sip a cup of tea for an idea to walk from T-Hub to T-Works. Let me also share with you that I'm personally a huge fan of motorsports and motor racing particularly. One of the biggest pushes during my tenure as a minister was to bring Formula E race to India. And I take a great deal of pride in saying that India's very first Formula E race happened in Hyderabad in 2023 on the streets of Hyderabad in February. More than 35,000 people showed up, not just as a spectacle, but as a statement that India is ready for electric mobility, global races, and to ensure cutting-edge technology is leveraged for the benefit of greater good. The response was overwhelming. Citizens embraced it, industries aligned, and enthusiasts cheered. We also made sure that we used that entire time as a mobility week during the race. We used that entire week, just like how you are conducting this race here, over a period of 6 days. We spread that event over 7 days, called it Mobility Week. We announced several investments that came in, from Hyundai Mobis to Mahindra Automobiles, which was also getting into electric vehicles in a big way, and also Amar Raja, which set up one of the largest gigafactories with about 9,500 crores of investment. So not only was it about racing, where you have innovation, where you have research, where you also have incubation and manufacturing, all happening in 3 different clusters as part of Telangana Mobility Valley. Nevertheless, I would like to share with you, even though I'm not in government today, I would like to share with you that the future looks very bright for all of you. The future is one where we certainly, of course, as India, we have problems. We have problems with civic amenities, we have problems with infrastructure, we have some problems in growing as a country with hesitations, but the promise of New India is that we must take bold and daring decisions, we must dream big. To all the young minds here, I would only appeal to you to consider one thing. Do not wait for opportunities. Create them. Execute your ideas. Feel the adrenaline like you are on the racetrack. Every turn, every risk, every push matters because you only have one life to live. Better live it up and make sure that it counts. Let me also share one thing with you. You are a very restless generation. You're not the generation that sits and listens to lectures and listens to sermons. Let me tell you, as restless young bunch, you need to start questioning more and more often. What happens when a young engineer sees a racing car and asks himself or herself, I want to build one like this? I was told a very fascinating story on my way to the campus here by Vish, who accompanied me and who brought me here. He told me about the story of Mr. G.D. Naidu from Coimbatore, about 80 years ago, who had built a fascinating car by traveling all the way to Germany, brought back the car, and rebuilt it all the way ground up, from nuts to bolts and to a full-fledged car. If he could do it 80 years ago in Coimbatore, when infrastructure was not as great, when access was not as great, when there was no Instagram, when there was no social media, now I would ask you, I would urge you to consider, and I believe you can do this. My belief is simple. One among you will not just build the car like GD did, but you will also build the engines, you will build the batteries, and you will also build the software behind it. Why not imagine that the next Tesla should come from Coimbatore or Toothukudi, or the next BYD should come from Hyderabad or Vijayawada? Why not? You have to dream, you have to think big. And I would also ask you to consider one thing. It's easy to be a job seeker. It's very easy to graduate, go get a job, and live life in a quiet lane. Do you want to live your life in a quiet lane, or do you want to live your life in a fast lane? It's something that you will have to decide. You could be a job seeker, or you could be a job creator for the rest of you. Once you start dreaming big, you'll often be surprised by your own potential. It is a privilege, certainly for me, to stand among you, because you are the architects of New India. When I call you the New India, it is not just about the demographic dividend, as we already have an advantage with, but I'm quite bullish on the aspirations, the hunger that you guys show. While we were coming here, we were having a quiet conversation, myself, Shankar, and a few friends. And they were telling me very quietly that people from metros like Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Kolkata, Mumbai, versus kids from tier 2 towns, could be Coimbatore, could be Warangal, could be smaller towns in India. My friends, when we were having a conversation, they were sharing with me that students and kids from tier 2 towns and tier 3 towns have more fire in their belly. And I'm a sincere believer that those kids are going to change the world because they really have the passion, they really have the hunger, they really have the fire in the belly. This new India will not just come from metros and places where you are entitled. This new India will certainly come from our tier 2, tier 3 towns and also villages. Let me also quickly sum up, quickly conclude by saying a couple of things. This is certainly, like Shankar was pointing out, this is our moment as Indians. Let the engines roar, let the ideas fly, let bold decisions turn into lasting actions. Together, we shall build the future of the automobile industry, especially the sustainable mobility industry. I would like to quickly conclude by saying, everyone who has achieved something in life, everyone who has achieved something big, once sat where you are sitting right now. In my own state of Telangana, there was a time when many doubted whether we would ever achieve statehood. Yet, here we are, 11 years later, standing tall as a role model to the nation across multiple sectors. But that is the power of self-belief, that is the power of resilience and vision. The younger generation today, all of you, are a remarkable bunch. You're more confident, you're well-informed, you're supremely decisive when it comes to taking decisions. So my message to you is very, very simple. Seek impact over income. You can make money, but to create an impact, societal impact, is more lasting, more worthy. So seek impact over income. Value authenticity over authority. Do something original. Be authentic. Don't be a copycat. So value authenticity over authority, and I'd say have hunger for speed and scale. Having hunger only for speed will not cut it. You'll also need to scale to be able to provide to a large demography like India. You may scroll endlessly, but you are sharp about what you are going to consume. You're more reasonable, you're more responsible, and you're more reactive than people give you credit for. And that is why I believe you are the generation that will drive India forward. In the recent F1 movie, how many of you have seen the F1 movie here? Only some. Okay, most of you have, but you're shy for now. The recent F1 movie, as Sonny Hayes says, which has truly caught my attention, hope is not a strategy. Create your own brakes. Hope is not a strategy. Create your own brakes. That line resonates far beyond the racetrack. Because whether it's motorsport, life, building a state, or building a nation, we cannot simply wait for luck. We must design our opportunities, we must execute with courage, and we must create our own brakes, because that is how future is built. I thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and I wish you all the very best. Jai Hind.